All right, it's November 12th, 2024. Wanted to do a quick announcement to share about two updates from today. First, the Active Inference Symposium is going to be tomorrow, November 13th through the 15th. And then second, we'll look at the paper published today, snapshot of the Institute and Ecosystem paper. First on the symposium, symposium.activeinference.institute. You can head over. This will be the fourth Applied Active Inference Symposium. You can check out the recordings and transcripts of the first three. Register here will take you to a form where you can add some information and get registered. Here's the program page. First, we have the interactive form of the symposium here. You can click right into the live streams. November 13th and 14th, there will be long live streams. On November 15th, our partners at FP1 will be hosting a bioregional convening. Newman Games also has created a metaverse space if anybody wants to jump in and explore there. There are going to be a lot of awesome presenters at the symposium. If you want to check out more, you can look at the program table. You could read the abstracts. And also, with the help of Maria, we also published the abstract book, updating the page now. And here are the abstracts for each of the presenters. So if you want a downloadable form for the abstract book, like it's a conference, take a look at this document. If you want an interactive form, that's available here. When you register, you'll see at the top, can we share your registration information? If you leave it unchecked, then we'll keep it private. If you check it, we'll do a few things. First, we'll add you to public participants. Here's the list of participants who opted in to publicly sharing information. And then, this was a collaboration with Vladimir Balin in the GitHub repo, Active Inference Institute /Symposium, over in Perplexity. There are the scripts that are used to do Perplexity AI API calls and two kinds of outputs on the presenters and on the participants. First, on the presenters. For each of the presenters, there's the background research profile. So if you want to learn more about a given researcher, you can find out more. And then what was a lot of fun, and I hope people give some feedback on this and explore how we could continue to version this, is in the participants, again, for the participants who said, yes, opt me in, each of them, who should I pick on? Have three documents: a profile, a learning plan, and a project proposal, set of project proposals. So here we go. Here's a profile, a learning plan, and a project proposal for Fraser. This is using the information that the person put into the form, plus using the Perplexity API. So if you want to read more about the different participants, you could look at their profiles like this. And this is such early days. We have so many interesting things coming like this. There's a learning plan for each person. So immediate next steps, what resources to look at, objectives, concrete actions to take, short-term goals, medium-term development, different specific resources. Of course, synthetically generated as a first draft. However, for people who are thinking, well, how can I get started with learning? Or who else is out there in the community? These are helpful documents. And lastly, is in each of the participant folders is 3 project proposals of small, medium, and large scope. And each of them are structured according to the Heilmeier Catechism. So a set of questions. What are you trying to do? How is it done? What is new? Who cares? What are the risks? How much will it cost? How long will it take? What are the checkpoints? So here, for Fraser, we have Small project, active inference in visual foraging. Medium project, scaling active inference models with deep neural networks. And longer term project, hierarchical active inference for compositional latent structure. And when I go over to my own short-term project, active inference in ant colony behavior. Medium term, enhancing population-based search. Longer term project, active inference for cognitive security in organizational design. So, pretty fun. We're looking forward to also developing these scripts, doing different kinds of team and project assembly. So this just gives a first scratch towards the questions that we all have all year round. What is active inference? How can we learn? How can we contribute to the bigger picture? How is active inference useful? What are the implementations like? What are people doing with it? Those are the questions that we ask at the symposium. So I hope everybody who's listening in a timely fashion registers and joins and engages. And for next year, we will come back with the 5th Applied Active Inference Symposium, more and different work, more and different co-organizers and sponsors. So that's the first part of this announcement about the symposium tomorrow and some of the things we've done for it. Second part of the announcement. Today, we snapshotted the document, Active Inference Institute and Active Inference Ecosystem. It's published on Zenodo as a concatenated PDF. Thanks to all the authors who contributed in many awesome ways to this document. In the link that I'll put into the YouTube live chat right now, you can engage with the interactive form, and then it was concatenated and put onto Zenodo using Coda, print in PDF, export to PDF, this page and subpages. That's pretty much how we got the linear format from the living version. I'll spend a little bit to give some context on the structure of this, since why not? We're here anyway, and this may make it more useful for some. We published version 1 of this paper last year. We collaboratively wrote it in Google Docs, so that was more like linear collaborative editing, and that was getting pretty long and unwieldy and a little bit hard to get situational awareness on what we did and didn't have in the document. So moved over to Coda for this V2, and it was a ton of fun. If you want a special kind of output, you can always go to that Perplexity link and continue the conversation. Summarize this for me as a haiku. Active inference thrives, bridging minds and nature's flow, learning as we grow. So if you want to interact that way. Okay, here's the structure of this document. There's 3 sections up top, then 2 major body sections, and then a final discussion section. So up top, we have an abstract. This overviews the sampling and the living versioning nature of the document, briefly introduces active inference as a unifying framework across disciplines, and highlights what this is about, which is the Institute and you. It's about participation in these projects, these organizations, these areas of interest. Authors, table of authors, and an active inference landing page, one that received many fascinating comments and discussions from the sidelines. A lot of different introductory points of curated guides to active inference, and again, many different ways that we can continue to keep versioning it as would only be proper. So those are the top 3 sections. The main 2 body sections. Here's the section on the Institute. The Institute is a registered nonprofit organization in Delaware, USA. Summarizes what we do. Here's a little bit about our history, how we got going in 2020, officially started in 2021, brought in the Scientific Advisory Board in 2022, kept working and had 2 courses, the Physics as Information Processing with Chris Fields and the Social Sciences course. And then this year, developments of 2024. Mission, vision, values, and principle. Our mission is to support the accessibility, rigor, and applicability of active inference, to act and first serve. More on our values and principles. Focus areas for the Institute and how they're addressed by our directions, ongoing directions. Next section has to do with Institute organization. Here's an image of our organization, our morphology. We have the Scientific Advisory Board, the Board of Directors, officers. These will continue to be versioned as we improve, add links, members. We have organizational units. These are the org units. Administrative unit, the EduActive education unit, Re-Inference research unit. There are the Institute programs. Programs are specific modes of active participation and engagement. There is volunteering, the internship, mentorship, the fellows, currently the research fellows, philanthropy, for those who might like to donate or connect, grants, including where possible, our pending and submitted grants, which we publish also on Zenodo. Partnerships, organizational partnerships, and how this can be a synergistic relationship in our current partners. The default open source license for all of our products, unless otherwise specified, and some links to open source repositories. A little bit of a description of the kinds of support that we provide in the ecosystem for researchers and learners. A bit about our communications, how we communicate internally and externally. Quality, performance, and growth evaluation across the participant, institute, and ecosystem scale. A little bit more information on information management, Discord for those who partake, newsletter, monthly newsletter. We've done it since the very beginning of the Institute, and Coda. Next is the section with Institute projects. So these are long-term projects that are officially okay. Thanks, Andrew. We're back. I'll just pick up with the Institute projects. Journal, publishing. Ontology, speaking, writing, analyzing, ActInf. Active entity ontology, agent-based ontology from 2022 that we've versioned and developed in a few different settings since. Symposium. This was the first part of this announcement. Cognar Ecosystem, John Boyk's Research Fellows Project. Educational Standards and Qualifications, a long-running project that is going to be very interesting in the coming year. FarmWorks, decentralized AI for personalized solutions. Fundamentals of Active Inference, textbook in progress by Sanjeev Namjoshi. Generalized Notation, GNN, including some recent developments on GNN, using it to make reproducible generative models. Knowledge engineering, the meta-analysis of the literature we did with Blue and RJ in 2022, and good to get these bugs out. I'll try to fix them before tomorrow. Physics course, Physics and Information Processing by Chris Fields. rxinfer.jl learning group, work we've been that should work now. rxinfer.jl learning group, social science course, and links to the front end in that curriculum. Software we're developing, active blockference, as well as active inference. Systems approach, how we learn and apply systems engineering at the Institute. Textbook group, 6.5 cohorts, and links to learn more about working through the 2022 textbook. Tech tree and links to where we're working on that, and videos and podcasts. Not unlike the halting one listening to now, 500 plus live streams. That's the section on the Institute itself. So it's about structure, our principles, projects, directions, all of that, all work in progress. I won't spend as long on the ecosystem. This is all outside the Institute. Different priorities that we've heard from people from the ecosystem. The way we think about the ecosystem's development, growth, and structure. Ecosystem projects that we know about, that people have proposed and are engaged in. And then the beginning of a sort of synoptic review, living review, meta, post-meta analysis on active inference and domains. So each of these, and this is widely open for people who'd like to steward a given section, like economics. Someone could be a domain curator or steward. Help keep this updated so that that link right there could be sent to anyone, like, here's ActInf in economics. This is the entry point. So anyone who wants to add more domains, we just added a few. And there's also some with a lot of discussion, like education. Lastly, closing section of the document is the discussion and future directions. So that constitutes the document, which is downloaded as a 105-page PDF as well. Closing out the announcement here now. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you at the symposium. Hope that you enjoy the document about us and the ecosystem, and see you around. Thank you. Bye.